No matter how varied the forms are, the mind remains calm and clear, like the bright sun and moon. Transforming forms with the mind makes one a celestial being. Darkness becomes dawn, winding paths become straight roads, suffering turns into sweetness, adversity becomes prosperity, death becomes rebirth, and rebirth becomes death. What is pleasant becomes more pleasant, and even discomfort becomes pleasant. Understanding the essence of forms allows one to play celestial melodies daily. Creating forms with the mind makes one a super celestial being. The mind transcends all forms. My mind is serene. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. Form is not different from emptiness, and emptiness is not different from form. All dharmas are empty of inherent nature. Forms arise from the mind. Thus, the mind is form, and form is cessation. There are no attachments, no obstructions, no fears, no worries, no troubles. Wherever the mind creates, there are green mountains and clear waters, and when the mind is quiet, there is always a profound sense of tranquility. If the mind creates forms of dharma, it becomes a constraint. Dharma sets no rigid rules. It is ever-changing. Times change, 30 years on the east bank of the river, 30 years on the west bank. If one clings to forms of dharma, it leads to death. But if one is free from forms of dharma, it leads to flexibility, vividness, and countless wonders in all forms. If the mind harbors forms of non-dharma, it leads to arrogance and follows the path of demons. The universe everywhere manifests Buddhist teachings, which have been eternal. If one desires beyond the bounds, one will face conflicts and struggles everywhere. Even with countless miraculous powers, one will suffer in hell. What has been said above may seem contradictory. Whether it is contradictory or not depends on one's realm. In a confined space, contradictions are everywhere. If one generates the mind from a holographic perspective, there is no contradiction. The way of the mind and the way of form are infinitely profound and miraculous. The changes in miraculous powers are contained within. The way of the mind is consciousness, and the way of form is structure. As they reverse and cycle, energy follows. The gate of Chanyuan is about to close, leaving this one method for you to play with. 去天国其实很容易. It is actually easy to reach heaven. Xiefeng. April 2nd, 2009. Translation edited by Qin Yu. The vast array of theories and teachings all explore the path and methods to reach heaven. Various cultivation groups claim to have found the path to heaven. Humanity continues to advance from strictly following precepts and rules to employing a myriad of cultivation methods, painting a grand and moving picture of the journey to heaven. This picture includes profound and esoteric metaphysics, a dazzling array of cultivation practices, intense and ever-changing battle scenes, and silent, devoted research and solemn scenarios. Heaven is so beautiful that it captivates the masses, inspiring both extraordinary and ordinary people across generations to bravely climb and traverse towards it. In fact, going to heaven is very easy and simple. It is humans who have complicated it and made it seem difficult. Let us use the 1,000-year world of heaven, which is closest to the human world, to illustrate how easy and simple it is to reach heaven. As long as we achieve the following 8 points, we can enter the 1,000-year world of heaven. Revere the greatest creator, firmly believe in the greatest creator, and always be grateful to the greatest creator. Respect life and revere nature. Avoid jealousy, hatred, greed, obsession, selfishness, and complaining about others. Do not, for any reason or excuse, bind or obstruct anyone's happiness and freedom. Be kind. Have a kind heart, kind words, kind speech, and kind actions. Be honest. Seek the truth, speak the truth, do not deceive, and do not lie. Be diligent. Do not be lazy, keep your living and surrounding environment clean, neat, beautiful, and harmonious. Keep promises. Let your words match your actions, honor promises, and adhere to agreements. Look, going to heaven is so easy and simple. As long as you can follow these 8 points, I guarantee that you can enter the 1,000-year world of heaven. There is no need to study profound knowledge, adhere to strict rules and precepts, meditate, sit in meditation, practice Zen, practice Qigong, or accumulate merit. Going to heaven is truly this easy and simple. Regardless of whether you are an emperor, general, scholar, or beauty, whether you are a billionaire, celebrity, or leading magnate, whether you are a doctor, expert, accomplished monk, or virtuous person, whether you are an ordinary person, rural villager, illiterate wanderer, regardless of your beliefs or lack thereof, regardless of what you have or haven't done, regardless of your knowledge or moral understanding, regardless of your appearance or lifespan, as long as you can achieve the 8 points above, you can undoubtedly enter the 1,000-year world of heaven. In the standards of heaven, everyone is equal, with equal opportunities. There is no distinction or special pathway. The standards of heaven are fair, aren't they? 知道不可以强求，传道篇51. Ultimate Tao cannot be pursued through emotion. Xiefeng, March 31, 2010. Translation edited by Qin Yu. The ultimate Tao is one, yet it manifests in countless paths. The unity of these myriad paths returns to the one. For example, the human body is one, but it is divided into 5 organs, 6 bowels, 7 orifices, hair, bones, meridians, nerves, blood vessels, limbs, tendons, and muscles. Microscopically, each component has its own function and operating principles. Each follows its own path, but on a macro level, they all return to the unified Tao of the human body. The ultimate Tao is the path of unchanging amidst all changes. It does not alter with the passage of time or shifts in space. For instance, the way of the greatest creator remains constant from the ancient past to the distant future, from 20 parallel worlds to 36-dimensional spaces, steadfast and unmoved. Similarly, love, from insects to animals to humans, to gods, Buddhas, and celestial beings, from ancient times to modernity and beyond, remains unchanged through the ages. The ultimate Tao cannot be pursued through emotion. True emotion may be beautiful, but it cannot lead to the ultimate Tao. No matter how sincere the emotion, drinking poison will still lead to death. No matter how deep the affection, a marriage can still end in divorce. No matter how heartfelt the emotion, loved ones who are destined to die will still perish. No matter how sincere the emotion, the structure of life remains the same, and one will still be human, never becoming a Buddha or a celestial being. No matter how deeply parents love their children, many children will still be unfilial. True emotion cannot buy filial piety. No matter how passionately lovers pledge eternal commitment, they may still part ways. No matter how sincere a mouse is toward a cat, the cat will still eat it. No matter how much a wolf cares for a lamb, the lamb will still fear it. No matter how devoted a disciple is to their master, kowtowing and offering incense will not make him a sage. No matter how much affection is invested in a car, without mastering driving skills and traffic rules, accidents will still occur. No matter how hopeful and emotionally invested one is in a traditional family, the family will still have flaws and conflicts. No matter how much one invests emotionally in a nation, religion, or political party, it cannot guarantee one's freedom, happiness, or future in heaven. No matter how much emotion is invested in a loved one, many people will remain unappreciative, indifferent, and disregard or even reject affection. In a group, no matter how affectionate everyone is with each other, without a shared guiding principle or value, the group will be like scattered sand, plagued with constant conflicts. The ultimate Tao cannot be sought through emotion. So, what should one use to pursue the ultimate Tao? There is only one answer: to resonate in frequency with the ultimate Tao. Resonating in frequency is the only correct and effective method to attain the ultimate Tao. If two people resonate in frequency, no matter how far apart they are or whether they have ever met, they can become inseparable, intimately connected once they do meet. If a group of people resonate in frequency in their views on life, values, life, morality, and the universe, regardless of differences in race, gender, culture, status, or appearance, they can still be as close as family and live harmoniously together. If we resonate in frequency with gods in our consciousness and thinking, we ourselves become gods. If we resonate in frequency with the Buddha, we become Buddhas. If we resonate in frequency with celestial beings, we become celestial beings. Similarly, if one resonates in frequency with a pig, one becomes a pig. If one resonates with a dog, one becomes a dog. The success of Life Genuine's second home is due to the fact that it is maintained not by emotion, but by values. As long as everyone resonates in frequency with the values, no matter how many people, 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, or 100 million, there will still be warmth, harmony, and order. If there is any deviation in frequency, conflicts and disputes will arise, leading to illusions, deceit, and fragmentation. Emotion is necessary. It is like blood in the human body. One cannot live a day without emotion. With emotion, there is heaven. Without emotion, there is hell. However, to enter heaven, one must resonate in frequency with the beings and order of heaven. Relying solely on emotion will not lead to heaven. The ultimate Tao cannot be pursued through emotion but must be achieved by perfecting the non-material structure of life and resonating in frequency with the desired realm. This is one of the teachings I wish to convey today. 无为和有为的含义及区别. The meaning and distinctions between non-action and purposeful action. Xiefeng, March 10, 2011. Translation edited by Qin Yu. Non-action, Wu Wei, aligns with the way of heaven. Purposeful action, Yu Wei, aligns with the way of humanity. Non-action means complete alignment with nature, operating according to objective laws, letting things rise and fall, bloom and wither, come and go with the seasons, wax and wane without worry or thought. As the Heart Sutra says, no sensation, no perception, no mental formations, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind. No form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind. No realm of the eye, up to and including no realm of mind consciousness. No ignorance and no ending of ignorance, up to and including no old age and death, and no ending of old age and death. No suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path. No wisdom and no attainment with. Nothing to attain. It means to be free from delusional dreams, to have a heart without attachment, fear, or dwelling, to be unselfish and free from desires, to accept things as they are, follow the natural flow of relationships, act in accordance with one's nature, and seize opportunities as they arise. Purposeful action, Yu Wei, involves fully utilizing one's intelligence, maximizing the satisfaction of desires and needs, and using one's will to change everything around them according to their own wishes. Non-action is like the ocean. Purposeful action is like the waves. Sakyamuni Buddha said, all sages and saints are distinguished by their practice of non-action. Purposeful action represents the common people, the multitude of sentient beings. Non-action represents the sages and saints. The difference between wisdom and foolishness is measured by whether one practices non-action or purposeful action. Sages practice non-action, while the foolish practice purposeful action. Thus, the Tao Te Ching states, therefore, the sage deals with affairs through non-action and teaches without words. The way of the greatest creator is the non-action, yet nothing is left undone way. Those who follow the way of the greatest creator must enter a state of non-action. I have already explained the 8 characteristics of the way of the greatest creator. Before the way of the greatest creator, all human efforts are insignificant. Only by merging with the way can we attain the way and become one with it. Why should we merge with the way? Because only by merging with the way can we achieve eternal life, become celestial beings, handle all affairs effortlessly, and attain wisdom and freedom in the vast universe. In reality, merging with the way means merging with the greatest creator. When this happens, the wisdom of the greatest creator becomes our wisdom, and we enter the Elysium world. As long as a person has selfish desires, as long as they possess or wish to possess something, as long as their heart is attached, has desires, worries, or anxieties, they will inevitably engage in purposeful action and will not become a saint, celestial being, or Buddha. As long as a person's heart is tied to marriage, family, religion, political parties, or nations, as long as they have thoughts, family ties, property, status, or reputation, as long as they worry about food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, aging, illness, and death, as long as they have desires, dependencies, hopes, fears, worries, or anxieties, they are undoubtedly practitioners of purposeful action. All their actions and words are manifestations of purposeful action, not non-action. The highest state of life is to have nothing. Only by having nothing can one reach heaven, the free world. Having nothing allows one to possess everything. The more unselfish one is, the more they achieve their desires. The more one possesses, the more troubles they encounter, and the further they are from heaven. The more one practices non-action, the more they can accomplish without effort. I establish the second home and urge you to strive to enter it, because only in the second home can you gradually enter a state of non-action. In the secular world, not only will you fail to understand non-action, but even if you do, you cannot reach the state of non-action. In the secular world, you can only practice purposeful action. I have paved a smooth path to heaven for you. As long as you follow the path I have laid out for you, your future will be bright and indescribably wonderful. Remember, all conditioned phenomena are like a dream, an illusion, a bubble, a shadow, like dew or a flash of lightning. Thus should you view them. 当认为自己对时已经错了. When you think you are right, you are already wrong. Xiefeng, June 25, 2011. Translation edited by Qin Yu. I do not see right or wrong. Everything unfolds in an orderly manner. Nothing in the universe is wrong, and no one's words are wrong. A white horse is not a horse is correct, and a white horse is also a horse is correct. Saying everything is empty is correct, and saying everything is real is also correct. Saying truth is falsehood is correct, and saying falsehood is truth is also correct. Saying the guide of Life Genuine is a big fool is correct, and saying the guide of Life Genuine is a god is also correct. Everyone's actions are correct. Someone building a house is correct, and someone demolishing a house is also correct. Someone engaging in construction is correct, and someone engaging in destruction is also correct. Someone honoring their parents is correct, and someone not honoring their parents is also correct. Someone who loves cleanliness is correct, and someone who loves messiness is also correct. Someone who likes to explore the truth and live with clarity is correct, and someone who prefers to live in ignorance is also correct. Someone who wishes to go to hell is correct, and someone who wishes to go to heaven is also correct. Someone who practices dictatorship is correct, and someone who practices democracy is also correct. Someone who likes eating steamed buns is correct, and someone who likes eating rice is also correct. Someone who likes meat is correct, and someone who prefers vegetarian food is also correct. We cannot say that others are wrong while we are right. To say others are wrong is to judge from our own standpoint, which is a flawed judgment that fails to consider the standpoint of others. When we consider the standpoint of others, we find that differing viewpoints or actions are also correct. Who can say that the behavior and values of cats are correct while those of mice are wrong? Who can say that winter is wrong and summer is right? Who can say that fruit-bearing trees are right while non-fruit-bearing trees are wrong? Who can say that birth is right and death is wrong? All events and phenomena in the universe are not wrong. Earthquakes are not wrong, volcanic eruptions are not wrong, droughts are not wrong, and floods are not wrong. It is not wrong for people to kill, set fires, steal, or rob, and it is not wrong for others to stop these actions, fight against them, and punish those responsible. This is called each performing their duty, each bearing their responsibility. Everyone plays their role, and who can say that a fox eating a chicken or a wolf eating a sheep is wrong? Who can say that thorns on rose branches are wrong? Who can say that it is wrong for crops to grow while weeds are right? Our efforts to create the Life Genuine era are correct, and those who oppose and obstruct the creation of the Life Genuine era are also correct. Everyone is playing their own role in their own way. Everything is a game. As long as we are immersed in the process, it is fine. It is not practical to insist that everyone must follow our will. It is in accordance with the Tathagata's intention for all life to blossom according to its nature. Do not try to change others or the world, as it is not only thankless but also contrary to natural laws. The most important thing is to express your own Tathagata nature. If you love eating noodles, then eat noodles. If you love eating steamed buns, then eat steamed buns. If you love going to hell, then go to hell. If you love going to heaven, then go to heaven. A forcibly twisted melon is not sweet, and forcing a cow to drink water goes against heavenly will. This means that when we think we are right and others are wrong, we are already wrong. Now, let's consider the other side of things. For thousands of years, humanity has lived in worry, pain, trouble, anxiety, conflict, and fear. This fact proves that humanity has been walking on the wrong path. Our understanding of life, time and space, life, and the origin of existence is wrong. Our ways of thinking are wrong, and our values and views on life are wrong. Therefore, any person within this huge, wrong thinking circle, regardless of how they judge things, speak, or act, is wrong. Thus, when any person thinks they are right, they are already wrong. Anyone who believes they are right is in elusive thinking. Is there someone who is right? Answer: yes. If a person is free from worry, pain, anxiety, concern, and fear, then they are right. Everything they say is right, and everything they do is right. Existence itself and things themselves have no right or wrong. However, I am discussing right and wrong here, which proves I am also wrong. Because I can prove that I am wrong, I am right. But because I think I am right, I am wrong again. 感性理性知性灵性 Sensibility, rationality, intellectuality, and spirituality. Xiefeng, May 27, 2012. Translation edited by Qin Yu. Mr. Shrek the Monster has introduced us to the Mysteries of Life series, Extraterrestrial Civilization Contact Volume, which mentions that 37,000 years ago, there was a continent called Lemuria floating in the Indian Ocean. The civilization of that era was centered around sensibility. About 10,000 years ago, during the Atlantis period, human civilization was primarily centered around rationality, and in the following 10,000 years, human civilization centered around intellectuality. And what about the future? In the future, human civilization will evolve towards spirituality, which is also the symbolic mark of the Life-Echanuan era. Now, I will explain the meanings and significance of sensibility, rationality, intellectuality, and spirituality. We should not look up definitions in dictionaries. Chinese culture is divinely created, and Chinese characters are divinely created. We should understand sensibility, rationality, intellectuality, and spirituality directly from the meanings of the words themselves. Firstly, the common point among sensibility, rationality, intellectuality, and spirituality is nature. Sensibility is to feel nature. Rationality is to understand and organize nature. Intellectuality is to know and comprehend nature. And spirituality is to approach nature flexibly and dynamically. Nature is the essence of the universe. Take care of the big things, and the little things will take care of themselves. When we feel, understand, organize, know, and approach nature flexibly, the mysteries of life, and the universe become clear. What is the universe? The universe is nature. The myriad things in the vast world are all nature, all manifestations of nature. Nothing can exist apart from nature. Mountain nature, water nature, fish nature, bird nature, beast nature, human nature, divine nature, demonic nature, flower nature, Buddha nature, etc. Who can exist without nature? The core of Buddhist philosophy is nature. The one who best inherited the wisdom of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, is Kashyapa. Shakyamuni held a flower and Kashyapa smiled. Others did not understand. Kashyapa is the ancestor of Zen Buddhism. The core figure of Zen Buddhism is Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma was the last Indian Zen master and the first in the eastern lands. Thus, in China, Bodhidharma is called the ancestor of Zen Buddhism. The treatise on the bloodline of the patriarch clearly states, Buddha is nature, and nature is Buddha. Therefore, practicing Buddhism is practicing nature, and practicing nature is practicing Buddhism. Seeing one's true nature is becoming a Buddha. What I guide in Life-Echanuan is nature, love, and Tao. Why practice nature, love, and Tao? This is determined by the three essential elements of the universe: consciousness, structure, and energy. Tao is the characteristic of consciousness. Nature is the characteristic of structure, and love is the characteristic of energy. Therefore, we need to practice nature, love, and Tao. After 2013, humanity will enter a new civilization, the Life-Echanuan era. The characteristic of the civilization in the Life-Echanuan era is spirituality. Spirituality is the nature of celestial beings. In the coming 1,000 years, all members of humanity will live like celestial beings. Time is the best standard to test truth. Facts speak louder than words. The current life in the second home, established by Life Echanuan, is the life of celestial beings. There are no conflicts, no arguments, no deception, no intrigue, no suffering, no anxiety, no worries. No one pockets anything found on the road, and doors are unbolted at night. Everyone is happy, joyful, free, and content, living like celestial beings. Why is this possible? Because we have inherited human civilization, having gone through the stages of sensibility, rationality, and intellectuality, and have now entered the era of spirituality. The main feature of the human spiritual civilization era is to live out the Tathagata nature, living entirely according to the will of the Creator, the greatest Creator. It is to bloom one's own nature freely and without restraint. The sixth patriarch of Zen Buddhism, Huineng, has classic explanations of self-nature. All phenomena are inseparable from one's own nature. How unexpected! The self-nature is originally pure. How unexpected! The self-nature is originally neither arising nor ceasing. How unexpected! The self-nature is originally complete in itself. People should approach nature flexibly and dynamically, live in nature, not in immorality, ethics, ideology, truth, doctrine, nation, religion, political party, family, or organization. People no longer pursue, possess, or control anything but bloom their own nature freely and timely like flowers. Those who cannot feel nature are ignorant. Those who cannot understand or organize nature are foolish. Those who do not know nature are ignorant.